Let the games begin. And there is Cavan Biggio, son of future inductee into the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame, Craig Biggio. He and Notre Dame getting set to take on Wright State. Again, that's coming up ESPN3, the Watch ESPN app. Wright State, the 3 seed in that Champaign Regional, the Horizon Tournament champs, back in the NCAA tournament. Again, 16 regionals around this great land of ours getting underway today, including in College Station. In just a few minutes, there's Chris Paul and Cal. Their first NCAA tournament appearance since 2011 when they made the College World Series. He's an all Pac-12 first teamer. Again, 4 minutes away, they open up against Coastal Carolina in the College Station Regional. That's the 2 versus the 3 regional seed matchup. There's Anthony Marks. First team all conference. Big South versus Pac-12. We got you set. Let's load some bases.
Welcome to ESPN Bases Loaded, presented by Capital One.
Let's check in right now on the Tallahassee Regional. The one game that's underway right now is Auburn, the 3 seed in that regional. Second appearance in the last 10 years, taking on the College of Charleston out of the Colonial, which won the Gainesville Regional last year. They're tied at 1, top of the 4th. Welcome in like Christmas morning for a 5-year-old. Here we are for college baseball fans. This is Bases Loaded, coverage of the Division I Baseball Championship unlike anything you've ever seen unless you watched our coverage last year. Welcome in Matt Schick along with Stanford living legend and sitting legend here for the better part of the next 12 hours or so. Here is Kyle Peterson. Again, 16 regionals getting underway. Let the road to Omaha begin. What are you looking forward to?
Today's a blast. And I think one of the most important things today is you start to look at opening pitching matchups for the 1 seeds across the country. Who throws their ace? Who doesn't throw their ace? Some interesting ones today. Looks like Florida will throw their ace. I think we'll see Logan Shore today. It looks like Vanderbilt will throw their ace. As of now, it looks like we're going to see Carson Fulmer. But then others that aren't. And I think that's one of the more important things to look at today is after today, who is set up best? And 2, which 1 seeds are vulnerable today, ace or no ace? And I think you got to look at Stillwater. And then I think you look west. I think in that Lake Elsinore regional, San Diego State could win that regional. They're the 4 seed coming in. It's a great day. It's a great day, and it's starting to unfold already. 1
regional underway right now. 5 more set to have their first pitch here in the next couple of minutes. In the 16 years since the field expanded to 64 teams, 77% of the teams to reach the College World Series have come from the 16 top teams, the host schools. Again, got you covered. Here's Friday's schedule. There you see Auburn underway right now. Oral Roberts and one of those 7 SEC teams in the field of 64, Arkansas, Columbia, East Carolina. What stands out to you here on this list of games that are underway in the next hour?
Well, a few things. So we got Auburn College of Charleston, which from an overall pitching matchup might be the best pitching matchup of the day. You got Cole Lipscomb going for Auburn, who through 3 innings has given up 1 hit. Problem is that 1 hit was a home run. Bradley Jones took him deep, so we're 1-1 already starting down there. And Taylor Clark, who had 13 wins from College of Charleston on the bump. So really good pitching matchup there. Arkansas, we got Arkansas, who was hot towards the end of the year against a really good offensive club in Oral Roberts. They're top 5 offensive as far as an average standpoint in the nation. And then as we go all the way down, a few that jump out to me. Cal jumps out to me because Cal doesn't seem like your typical West Coast team. They'll come in and swing the bats, and they're in an environment to where it's good to swing the bats. College Station, the ball fly.
Yeah, David Esker, head coach there, said it would take 4 years to get this program back. Once it was given the death nail that they would disband that program in 2010. What'd they do? Make the CWS in 2011, and here they are 4 years later back in the NCAA tournament. Wright State, Notre Dame, again getting underway momentarily. Yes, 16 regional sites. We cram these brackets, these graphics, full of games here as much as we can. Lafayette and Rice. There you see LSU in Baton Rouge. LSU certainly not going to take anything for granted this year after what happened last year.
Yeah, knocked out last year by Houston in their own regional. A little bit, I would say, more favorable draw this year for LSU. They'll do something a little bit different, too. They're basically going to throw kind of a whole staff approach against Lehigh today. Alden Cartwright will start. If you remember, last year's a guy that came out and guaranteed a win against Houston in Game 7 of the regional. They went less than an inning. They're hoping to get a little bit more from Cartwright today, but they'll piece it together with the rest of the bullpen today in Baton Rouge.
All right, 16 regional sites getting underway. Again, we mentioned the importance of being a host school, the percentages of getting to the College World Series in Omaha. At 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the Dallas Regional is supposed to get underway. We've got Texas, the Big 12 tournament champs, Oregon State, a team that was close to a host spot there in a top 16 slot. But they're there in Dallas. DBU, great team out of the Missouri Valley Conference. But there is some weather there in Dallas using a helicopter. And that blade going a lot quicker than this. It's called the shutter speed that makes it look like it's in slow motion. But drying out the field. They've had so much rain. The field was full of water. Bring in whatever you can, Kyle Peterson.
This is so. I'm gonna roll you back 30 years to Elkhorn, Nebraska, and what the fathers in Elkhorn did is, now granted we didn't have grass, but they went and filled up gas cans and literally lit the infield on fire to dry it. So there's many ways to do it. They have not lit the infield on fire yet at Dallas, which is probably a good sign. But you could if you need to.
We'll see if they head to their neighborhood gas station soon. We have not heard yet. Okay, 4 regionals now. We've got 6 regionals underway. This is what's known as the quad box. 4 of them right here on your screen. Here on Bases Loaded, we will take you to the best coverage, the most important pitches. And right now, that will indicate that here on ESPNU, the Watch ESPN app, and ESPN3, we will head to the Tallahassee Regional, where Auburn and Charleston are underway. 2 outs, top 4.
Well, if you're going to walk one guy, this is the guy to walk. I would actually pitch around him to get to Alex Poston, which has really struggled against right-handed pitching during the season. He already had struck him out previously. Surprise right then and there. Sonny Galloway did not give Blake Logan the green light on 3-0 count.
Walks have been few and far between for Clark. His previous 3 starts, struck out 39 and walked just 1. Out to right field, Pastorius to his right, makes the catch, and the inning is over. 1-1 ball game after 3.5.
All right, College Charleston getting up to bat there in the bottom of the 4th. To Gainesville, USF and the Owls of Florida Atlantic.
I mean, these 2 guys are the table setters, Teef and Merrill.
Now, a freshman, anytime you can get a freshman to come in and put the type of numbers that Merrill has put up, it's just a huge boost to go with all these veterans they have. It's a good, very good mix.
Third baseman Santiago parked on the grass looking for a potential bunt here.
All right, let's check in on Coral Gables, home of the Miami Hurricanes. Right now, home of Columbia out of the Ivy League champs, and East Carolina, the American tournament champs. Top of the 1st, we are underway.
Counting my reps. 3-2 on Serena. Gets a hold of one deep to left. Lowry at the wall, it's gone. What a start for the Lions out of the Ivy League.
Well, Jordan Serena, welcome to Coral Gables Regional. The Lions off and running. Sitting on fastball 3-2. He knows he doesn't want to walk him to start the ball game, so he's sitting and locked and loaded.
Just the 5th home run allowed by Krasinski all year long. And Rob Powler checks in.
All right, Lions off and roaring there in the top of the 1st. Let's go to Gainesville now. USF with a runner on 3rd.
For FAU, Endress, Collins, and Sanger. Infield, Chatham and Kerr up the middle, Santiago and Puerta at the corners. This one lifted to short center. Collins racing, and it spills out of the glove off the dive. Teef will score easily, and it's USF 1, FAU nothing.
Well, it looked like that ball hung in the air long enough. I don't know if Collins was playing a little deep. Merrill's not a real power guy. But off the bat, it looked like he had a play on it, and it just kind of was a little bit out of his reach.
As soon as the ball hit the ground, you knew Teeth was going to break for home.
South Florida on the board early to Stillwater. It's Oral Roberts out of the Summit League taking on Arkansas out of the SEC. Top of the first, runner on first for the Golden Eagles.
Probably so. Right. I think so too. It's whether you're in the Summit Conference or whatever, they're a good ball club, and that's the thing that you can't lose sight of.
There goes the runner. Throw down to second, and Watley's going to be in safely as Pinnell airmailed it into center with Benintendi backing up. But Watley, a nice jump, and he gets his 16th steal of the year.
Yeah, got a good jump, not a great one, but the catcher just airmailed it, like you said. Sometimes you come up as a catcher, you don't have a good grip on the ball, and you just kind of throw a palm ball out there, and it just ends up settling on him.
So ORU with the runner in scoring position, 1 out, just underway from Stillwater. Matt Brandy, the second baseman, comes into the Stillwater Regional with a 16-game on-base streak and a 6-game hitting streak. A little bit inside, 2-2.
All right, that's Stillwater. Keep our eye there. This is what we do. We bounce you to the best action. If there's a runner on in scoring position in an important game, they're all important, we will take you there. Gainesville right now. South Florida trying to add to its 1-0 lead in the top of the first against FAU.
A lot of times guys will get a feel for it as the game goes, but right now he's just got to kind of survive this first inning.
Off the plate outside.
Yeah, you might see. When what you do see the first couple pitches, Jackson to Borders is pitching around him. You got an open base early in the game, might be the right play, but you committed that way, starting them off with a breaking ball, and now you got to stay true to the plan. You can't give them a cookie here.
Gap widening in right center. You see the outfield swung around a couple of steps to the left side. One already in here in the top of the first for the Bulls as Borders takes one at the knees and on the black on the inside corner.
Real good pitch there. Behind in the count, you challenged him, but Jackson did it.
All right, the Bulls out of the American. They're in the top of the first. Meanwhile, in Stillwater, Oral Roberts. That entire lineup hitting above 300 there, and they're showing why. Runners on the corners against Arkansas. Let's go there now.
Slider cutter he's throwing is he's struggling a little bit with it right now.
And a dangerous spot for the Hogs here with the cleanup hitter Anthony Sequeira, the DH up for ORU, and he takes a strike. He's the Summit League Player of the Year.
Yeah, looked like a first pitch change up. Probably not going to see anything you can hit here. Curveball. Very nice pitch. That's the best breaking ball we've seen from him. That's a nice pitch.
Definitely one I don't think Sequeira was expecting on the first pitch. Now he sees a fastball and takes it for a strike, and it's 0-2.
Well, and we talk about throwing strikes, and sometimes it's not about just throwing the ball through the strike zone. Right now, his command is not very good. When I say that, when you watch a catcher set up, he's missing on the plate, and that's anytime you get in this level, that's going to get you hurt.
Did not miss by much.
That's a great pitch. That ball actually, I think, caught way too much of the plate. Sometimes it's hard to tell with the camera angle, but you watch, he's setting up in. Oh, that's a great pitch. A little low, maybe the bottom, a little bit below the bottom of the knees. A great pitch. I think it's kind of surprised Sequeira. He's getting these fastballs to hit.
That one was up, and it's hit to left field, and it's slicing towards the corner and just foul. And Killian's fortunate there. He got away with one up to Sequeira. How close was this to being fair? 3-4 feet maybe.
Ball up in the strike zone just a little bit. Not a bad pitch, especially if you could have got it underneath his hands. It got too much of the plate, though. And when it gets that much of the plate, a good hitter is able to get that bat head to it a lot of times.
First and third, one out. ORU top of the first, and a check on the runner, Brandy.
Not a bad time to start the runner here. Good time to probably put him in motion. Good breaking ball count. Doesn't run a whole lot. Sequeira doesn't.
To the alley in left center field, and that's going to give ORU the lead. Picked up by Serrano on that wet turf. Brandy stopped at third. To second is Sequeira with an RBI double. His team leading 21st two-base hit.
Yep, another fastball. A lot of fastballs early in the bat. That ball ended up, looked like he was trying to come in again, but you can watch the catcher. Watch his catcher's mitt. Mitt moves right down the middle, and Sequeira's not going to miss that pitch much. I don't care if you play in the Southeastern Conference or Summit. He's a good hitter, and that's what he's done all year. It's tough out there in the outfield right now, too, with those guys. You saw Serrano. A lot of times he could make that catch, but their footing, the outfield is wet. We know that. The ground crew's done a great job, but you could tell you have to be a little more careful out there going after balls, and that's kind of what he did.
Dave Jordan, the pitching coach for Arkansas, comes out. Yeah, more on the conditions here. The folks that aren't in this area may not know that they've had.
All right, so the second best hitting team, batting average-wise, Oral Roberts with 3 hits already, KP.
Yeah, and you could see Trey Killian, the starter for Arkansas, is kind of all over the place. Everything's elevated, not everything, but plenty are eleted. Do we have one?
Yes,
we have one?
Yes, we do. Let's go.
We got another one.
Tallahassee.
Off the scoreboard
The infield, but not the outfield. We take a look at the
field, and it's 2-1 Cougars in the 4th.
Well, we talked about Butler in the opening. As big as he is, he can really get to that inside part of the plate pitch. Brings his hands nicely, and that ball just exploded off his bat. Got out of here in a hurry. College of Charleston last year got out of.
Caught that live action there with College of Charleston. Now let's go back to Stillwater.
Field, right center. Spoon coming over. Tagging is Brandy. The throw is going to come towards second base. Scoring is Brandy, the second run of the inning. And for Audie Afner, his 43rd RBI. And ORU has scored 2 in the top of the first.
Nice job.
All right, so you saw the 2-box there, and you saw another home run here. Back to Tallahassee, back-to-back Jack.
And an exceptional start here in Tallahassee for the Charleston Cougars. Their dugout is fired up, and Lipscomb undoubtedly rattled.
Again, short swing. Look where the pitch is located. You missed up in the zone. Pappas did not miss it. That was the pitch where he had struck out on a breaking pitch in that zone. Tough to get to, but when you're looking up there, you can definitely.
All right, if anyone hits another home run, is that one? No, that's not one. Right. 70 home runs now on the season for College of Charleston. That is 4th nationally here as they're off to a great start.
Yeah, 3 solo home runs against Cole Lipscomb, and you could see that last one was an elevated changeup. That is a great ballpark to hit in. It actually fits College of Charleston's ball club really, really well.
The Razorback bullpen.
Of the second, top of the first, back to Stillwater.
There's an 0-2 pitch to Cummings. Just off the outside corner. And before we leave the first 2 meetings here, we should say they are midweek games, which quite frankly is a bigger deal for a team like ORU than it is for Arkansas playing in the SEC.
Much bigger. Because a lot of times ORU, if they're a dominant team, they can throw off and save an ace or something for the midweek game against the big boys, so to speak. But this is not. They did not want Zach Jackson to get active in the second inning or the first inning, because that's a guy he was planning on using 2 to 3 times this series, this regional.
Outside corner, 2-2 missed.
Keeping our eye on Stillwater there. We will remain there. Meanwhile, Columbia and East Carolina. Again, Columbia, the Ivy League champs, up 1-0 on ECU. Again, that's in Coral Gables. And this is all double elimination. So just for those of you new to this tournament, double elimination, 4-team regionals, 16 regionals throughout the country. Let's go back to Stillwater.
The SEC tourney went a season-high 7 2/3 innings. Only gave up 1 run. He goes to the breaking ball. It's in the dirt and well blocked by Pinnell, keeping Sequeira at second. Of course, Razorback fans remember March 15th this year, Killian against then number 5 Vanderbilt, 7 perfect innings. It was lifted due to a pitch count. He was the National Pitcher of the Week. Got it past Cummings for his first strikeout. But ORU striking first.
Top of the first comes to a merciful end for Arkansas. To Gainesville now. Runners on the corners. Bottom of the first. FAU looking to answer.
351 hitter. Has some pop. And what's most impressive, perhaps, in those 3 years, he's walked 107 times. He commands the strike zone. One delivery, a little bit upstairs. Sanger's on-base percentage this year, .491. 51 walks. He's been hit 4 times.
Yellow dots in the bases mean there is action in other parts of the country. Columbia and East Carolina, again, Coral Gables action going on there. We'll keep our eye there. Wright State and Notre Dame as well. Runner on second there for Wright State out of the Horizon League. Let's go back to USF and FAU in Gainesville.
Finished the regular season with a .372 average, 6 homers, 45 runs batted in. One of those guys that was kind of a late bloomer in high school, and those kind of guys work to the advantage of recruits that are eventually landed by schools like FAU. Just off the plate. That's an eye like a hawk right there as the count fills up 3-2.
Now that's what he's done his whole career. I mean, there's been a couple pitches that Herget's made this at bat that Sanger was close to going, but he was able to check. And there's an old saying, you hit like you take, and you can see he's in great position on every pitch.
Tying run at third. That one's in on the hands. A lazy fly to center. Luke hauls it in. Tagging up on the play is Kerr, and he'll be there easily. We're tied up 1-1. RBI number 46 on the season for the Conference USA Player of the Year, Brendan Sanger.
Well, big answer for FAU. When you give up one in the first, you got to find a way to answer, and they did it, and they did it quickly, and they're still in position. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little movement here.
Those are the kind of matchups that we love to see in regional play. You've got one of the best pitchers in the country against one of the top hitters in the country.
And it was everything you thought. It goes to full count, and right there, and Sager did his job, but Herget did his job as well.
Now Ricky Santiago, the third baseman, and what an amazing story he has been. Ropes that one through the hole and into left field, a base hit. Santiago, who came in with a .317 average. That'll augment that a little bit. A young man who had open heart surgery a year ago for a hole in his heart.
Well, if you see that pitch, I mean, that's up at the letters, and that I promise you this, Jimmy Herget hadn't made a living off throwing baseballs there.
Herget, who has...
All right, meanwhile, in Champaign, Wright State and Notre Dame, the Champaign Regional, hosted by top 8 national seed Illinois. 2 on there. We keep our eye there. We go back to Gainesville now.
That one paints the inside corner for strike one to Roman Collins, the lone freshman in the lineup. In there for strike two. Great response by FAU. You go down to Herget early on in the game and you say, uh-oh. But already 3 men have reached in the inning.
Yeah, it just takes these pitchers a little time to get settled in. I think you'll see Jackson and Herget. If Herget can get through this inning, I think you'll see both of them settle in.
Socked into right field. That's a base hit. It'll score one easily. Andrus digging his way to third. On to second is Collins, and the Owls continue to hit Jimmy Herget hard here in the first.
Again, it's all about location there. I mean, the left-handers have stood in there and have done a good job, which FAU needs to get to Herget. But that pitch is just up at the belt. I mean, his first two pitches to Collins were down, located well, didn't even get a swing from him. Just some takes, and he gets ahead in the count, but he's trying to put him away, and he just left that ball up. Not just up, but out over the plate.
Sixth man in the order is Esteban Puerta, the starting first baseman. 2 in scoring position, already 2 in for the Owls. Collins, his 13th two-bagger of the season. This FAU program, a lot of people probably learning about for the first time. They were in a regional just 2 years ago. They had North Carolina on the ropes, had a 3-run lead in the top of the ninth. The Tar Heels hit a grand slam. First baseman Putnam drifting into foul ground and making the catch. It'll not be deep enough to score a run, so a big out for Herget.
Yeah, you want to
keep you posted on what happens there. Meanwhile, in College Station, it's Cal and Coastal Carolina, top of the second in this double elimination regional.
I got the Cowboy ribeye, and I came back the next day and I had a 4-hit game, and thus the birth of the nickname.
Got to stick with what works.
And he sends his shot to center field. That gets down in front of Marks. Cal strikes first after Paul's triple. He comes home on the Mitchell Cranston single.
A nice job by your 5-hole hitter. Knowing he doesn't need to do too much. Didn't look like he was trying to overswing at all. Man on third, less than 2 outs. Just put the ball in place somewhere in the middle of the field. He does that and is rewarded with a nice hit. Watch pitch location again. Not down, mid-thigh. Sawchek cannot afford to throw pitches that are not around the knees over the plate. He has got to work on getting the ball down.
All right, from College Station, let's hang out here on the right-hand side of your bracket. If you have it printed out, we're going to Champaign. Wright State at Notre Dame, top of the second.
Really struggling, trying to get out of this jam. Scott Carrington, excuse me.
This is 11th start of the year, and that one toward right center field and deep, and carrying off the scoreboard. It's going to score 2. Ronder around second, heading to third. He'll have a triple on the blast off the wall for Wright State.
Well, the wind is blowing out. It helped that ball. It was a hard hit to begin with. But the wind gave it a boost, and it off of the wall in deep.
It's not a bad time to get your first triple of the year, right?
Not bad.
John Brodner, 8-hole hitter in the Wright State lineup with 2 outs, goes and just about left, too. Wind must be blowing in Champaign. The route in center leaves something to be desired, but the ball was smoked and Wright State strikes first.
That you see in the bottom right-hand portion, that half inning comes to an end there in Gainesville. Bases loaded coverage as we take you around the country to the best action. Again, 16 regionals, all of them getting underway today. We have 6 sites going on right now. Here are your scores. How about College of Charleston? 3 solo shots.
Yeah, 3 solo shots the entire season. Cole Lip's going to give up 4 home runs coming into this game.
3 today. Bases loaded coverage pulls on. All right, well, they take a break on ESPNU here on the Watch ESPN app and ESPN3. We head to Coral Gables, where Columbia, the Ivy League champs, 4th NCAA tournament in the last 8 years, up 1-0 with a man on second in scoring position there in the top of the second as they take on East Carolina, the American Conference Tournament champs. Conference on the mound over, and we resume.
You're falling behind. You've given up some hard hit balls, and he's given up 4 hard hit balls already. Deal with location. Let's start there. Make your pitches, and you'll be fine. You just really have to put that runner at second base out of your mind right here and just attack the hitter.
So Dan Rozelle, the pitching coach, back to the dugout for ECU, and Vandercook at second, nobody out, with Krasinski giving up 2 extra base hits already. There's a strike, 2-1.
So now you're thinking, all right, back on track. If you're a hitter, you're still looking for a pitch away. You could hit to the right side, get that runner over at third base.
Opposite way, down the line. Foul ball, just wide.
All right, scores around the country. Again, 6 regional sites underway now. Only 10 more to get underway the rest of the day. There you see FAU up 2-1 on South Florida. College of Charleston up 3-1 on Auburn. And an incredible catch there in that game in Tallahassee, which we will show you momentarily. That's called a great tease. We're back in 30 seconds.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
ESPN Bases Loaded is presented by Quicksilver from Capital One. Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back every purchase, every day.
All right, moments ago in Tallahassee, Jackson Bergreen plays left field for Auburn. 3 solo shots so far for College of Charleston to make it 3-1. Trying to make it 4 solo shots, and then this happened.
1-0 to Phillips. Lifted out toward left field. Bergreen to the wall. He leaps. And he makes the catch. Oh, my goodness. Jackson Bergreen saves a home run in left field.
That, my friends, is a web gem. This would have been out of here without a doubt. You see over, counting the steps, 3.5 steps in the warning track, going over, making a beautiful play, and then nonchalantly just taking it out of the glove like I had it all the way.
That is a 10-foot wall in left field. He clears it with the glove. Shades of Endy Chavez in 2006.